optimistic of EU polls observers. Government assures UN of foreigners' security. Khaleda Zia needs permission to go abroad. Those were the headlines. You're watching ATN News. Good evening, viewers. I'm Rubaba Ahmed with English Bulletin. Election Commission is optimistic that European Union will send an observer team in small scale. Election Commissioner, retired Brigadier General Ahsan Habib Khan, made the optimism while talking to the journalist on Sunday. He said, Chief Election Commissioner Qazi Habibul Awal has sent a letter to EU expressing such optimism, where he mentioned the Election Commission is getting full cooperation from the government and the partners for smooth holding of polls. Ahsan Habib Khan said election will be more free and fair if a good number of foreign observers come. Talking on the US visa sanction, he said EC cannot do anything about it. It will try its level best to hold free and fair polls. US sanction few months before national polls has created an uncomfortable situation, opined experts. There is no scope to take this sanction lightly. They, however, think as a whole it might have a positive impact on the polls. Sheikh Salam has more.
After US announced its new visa policy, lot of complications had been created in the political arena of Bangladesh. It also added a new dimension in the politics of the country ahead of the next polls. Although an idea had been given on whom the sanction might be imposed, it was thought US might not give any official announcement ahead of the next polls in Bangladesh. However, brushing aside all speculations, US has finally imposed visa sanction without mentioning name of any individual. Political analysts consider such announcement from US have created an uncomfortable situation. They think US has given such announcement with a proper plan. So, there is no scope for any political party to take it easily. They think nobody is in a win-win situation. Such decision has definitely made our position questionable. They also consider hastily enforcement of visa sanction as diplomatic weakness. The positive thing about it is now everybody will have to think newly about contesting the polls. Otherwise, they might also face visa sanction.
আমাদের পররাষ্ট্র মন্ত্রণালয় এবং USA তে আমাদের যে এমবাসি আছে
Comparing such steps of US as iceberg, the experts advised all to remain cautious to avoid any further sanction.
মানে হুটহাট কেউ একজন ব্যক্তি কোনো আমেরিকাতে পলিসি নিতে পারে না।
Sheikh Salam, desk report, ATN News.
It will not be a problem if no foreign observer comes to monitor the next polls. Minister for Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Hassan Mahmood, made remark at a discussion in the capital on Sunday, marking death anniversary of Pritilota Wadedar, a warrior of anti-British movement. He said, "We ourselves will hold the polls." The United Nations has wanted to know from Bangladesh where there is security threat for foreign nationals during polls in Bangladesh. A UN team led by touring UN Assistant Secretary General Unaisi Lutu Viniwaka asked the question while meeting Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal at the Secretariat on Sunday. They also called upon the Bangladesh government to beef up security for the foreign nationals. The Home Minister assured them, saying law enforcement is very much active to ensure security of the foreign nationals. There is no reason for any security concern. The Home Minister made the disclosure while talking to the journalist after the meeting. There is a legal complication over Khaleda Zia's treatment abroad. Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal made the remark while replying to a question of the journalist at the Secretariat on Sunday afternoon. He said the opinion of the court is needed in this regard. The government has done what needed to be done regarding executive order. No new appeal has been filed related to Khaleda Zia issue, he added. In last few years, shipment of fertilizer at a subsidized rate of the Ministry of Agriculture began from July on completion of all formalities. However, situation is completely different this year, where the shipment of fertilizer has been started even in September. The importers are unable to open LC due to dollar crunch. The tenure of the deal between suppliers and the importers has almost come to an end because of the tenure of the deal remains valid up to the time of getting work order from the ministry. Already that time has finished. There is no chance of getting fertilizer even in December. So a great deal of uncertainty prevails over getting fertilizer that has made the farmers concerned. The financial experts of the country think such situation has put the food safety at stake. Now a short break. We will be back soon with Rajuk wants DAP enforcement to resolve waterlogging. 35 killed in oil depot explosion in Benin. You're watching ATN News. This is English Bulletin. 3 to 4 hours of rain on Thursday evening turned our beloved capital city, Dhaka, into a ghostly city. The waterlogging created by the downpour brought immense sufferings to Dhaka residents. Many of them had to wait on the roads helplessly to reach home. The situation could turn devastating if there had been any more rain. Even in such a situation, officials from the two city corporations are not ready to take the blame of poor drainage system that needs immediate attention. Experts think working on major projects or drainage system only is not going to help the cause. Coordination among different government agencies is very much needed to resolve the crisis. Rajdhani Unnayan Kortripokho Rajuk thinks it is possible to resolve waterlogging crisis in Dhaka through implementation of detailed area plan. Now news from around the world. About 35 people, including a child, killed in an oil depot blast in the West African country of Benin. More than a dozen seriously injured people are receiving treatment in the hospital. The incident took place on Saturday at a smuggled oil depot in Semi-Podji, a town near the border with Nigeria. At that time, many cars and motorcycles went there to get fuel. Eyewitnesses said there the fire started while unloading the bag of gasoline. However, Benin's Interior Minister Alassane Seydou blamed oil smuggling as the cause of the incident. Oil smuggling is common along Benin's border with Nigeria, a major oil producer. Illegal refineries and pipelines spread across the border often lead to fires. The death toll in Somalia truck explosion stands at 18. The explosive-laden truck exploded in the East African country of Somalia's Hiran region. 40 other people were hurt in the incident. Abdi Fattah Mohamed Yusuf, Director General of the Harshbal Ministry of Humanitarian and Disaster Management, confirmed this. The explosion occurred near a security checkpoint in a residential area of Beledweyne town in central Somalia on Saturday. A truck loaded with explosive devices forced to pass through a government-controlled checkpoint. It denoted when a pickup vehicle belonging to security personnel was chasing it. Police said buildings and shops closed to the spot were reduced to rubble. 20 injured have been admitted to Beledweyne hospitals. 20 other people are in critical condition, prompting request for advanced medical treatment. Local residents are searching for survivors in the rubble of the destroyed buildings. However, no group has claimed responsibility for the explosion, while recently this region witnessed battles between military and Al-Shabaab armed group. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has called Western countries, including USA and Empire of Lies. He commented this in his address to the UN General Assembly on Saturday. Without discussing the Ukraine war, the top diplomat Lavrov called USA and the Western countries as self-interested defenders of a decaying international power structure. He also accused them of adopting a neo-colonialism to win backing for Ukraine in the war. He said US and its subordinated collective continue to fuel conflicts, which divide humanity into hostile blocs and hampers the achievement of aims. Also, they are trying to force the world to play according to their own self-centered rules. Besides, he placed the blame for the crisis in the food and energy markets on Western nations, who impose unilateral coercive measures or sanctions on weaker ones. Lebanese army reaccused 27 migrants from a sinking boat in the northern Lebanon coast early Saturday. The military said this is a statement. As per statement from the army, the country's navy, with support from civil defense, has rescued 27 illegal migrants from a rubber boat that was sinking off the Cheka coast. Army has not disclosed about the destination and nationalities of the migrants. However, an anonymous military official told AFP all migrants were Syrian. The incident believed to happen when seeking to reach Europe from Lebanon. Head for the East Mediterranean island of Cyprus, 175 kilometers away. Alongside security forces arrested a Lebanese human trafficker and 42 Syrians. However, over the past years, thousands of Lebanese, Syrians and Palestinian migrants took dangerous trip from Lebanon across Mediterranean, seeking a better life in Europe. Experts have transplanted a heart from a pig into a human body in USA. This is the latest milestone in the growing field of medical research. Genetically modified pig heart has been transplanted into a 58-year-old man last Wednesday. Lawrence Fasuset is the world's second patient to receive a transplant of a pig heart into his body. He was ineligible for a donated human heart due to pre-existing vascular disease and internal bleeding complications. More than 1 lakh Americans are currently on waiting list for organ transplants. Transplanting animal organs into humans, named as xenotransplantation, could offer a solution to the chronic shortage of human organ donations. Both heart surgeries were carried out by experts from the University of Maryland School of Medicine. The university stated on Friday the first patient died 2 months after his transplant last year. He had multitude of factors, including poor state of health prior to surgery. Before ending the bulletin, the top stories once again. EC optimistic of EU polls observers. Government assures UN of foreigners' security. Khaleda Zia needs permission to go abroad. Rajuk wants DAP enforcement to resolve waterlogging. 35 killed in oil depot explosion in Benin. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for being with us.